What's up, y'all? Shane Great. We here in Philadelphia. This is Milkcrate Cafe. Definitely in need for some coffee here on this cold spring morning, but we're gonna go. This is for coffee breaks, and we're gonna have a good time today. Yeah. Jazz album. This is a Prince record. It's a Prince jazz record. Over on he had a secret group called Madhouse, and always had like these banging girls on the cover. What inspired me to get into beat making? Well, I've always been an artist. I've always been a creative. It kind of started out with being into hip hop as a young kid in the 90s and the 80s. But I was always into DJing at first, so I got into DJing, and I think that DJing kind of got me into hip hop. So, just kind of being behind the scenes, working with my hands. I've never really been, that much with words. So, working with my hands has been more my thing. So I think beat making and being into, just into rhythm and sampling and things like that is, yeah, man. So that's what kind of got me into beat making, and just, listening to the greats, man. A lot of the Wu-Tang, RZA. Jay Dilla, of course, Madlib, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, all those guys, man. So just being inspired by what I was hearing as a kid. May I just have a large coffee? Yeah, just a large coffee, and that's gonna be it. Set up right here real quick.
Oh,
do
no.
a quick beat right here.
This'll be live.
Yeah, I might have to tell Mike I'm gonna bring my on real quick. A lot of time in this basement in here digging for records, man. I bought a lot of cool stuff, sections get out of this basement probably now. Yeah, man, they got stuff here, man. This is one of the homies, Lewis Parker from the UK. That's a homie of mine. When I'm in a place like this, like shopping for records or looking for samples on records, definitely the cover helps. You know what I mean? Something cool looking guys. Also look for what I've grown to doing with digging is actually looking at the back of the record, looking at the credits. So looking at the different instruments. A lot of these old records will tell you what instruments are being played or what the musician plays. So if it's anything with bass guitar, Rhodes piano, cool percussion, saxophone, trumpet, whatever it is, I'll look for that. And then sometimes it's just looking at the players. If you dig long enough, you start understanding that some of these guys are, they produce for a bunch of different artists or they have their own music. Got a good story for you. So this man right here, Julian Adderley, Cannonball Adderley. This is my it's my cousin twice removed. It's my and call him, my wife's calling me. Hello. So yeah, this is my grandmother's cousin, Cannonball Adderley. He's a famous jazz saxophonist. He has a brother too, Nat Adderley. He's a famous trumpet player. He played with Miles Davis, John Coltrane. Played with everybody. So this is pretty dope. This looks pretty good. I sampled a bunch of those joints for the last project I put out. All that stuff. Mostly on YouTube though. The ill break on it. Philly Joe. That's got the ill drum break on it. He's on. Well, I know the one that comes to mind is You Don't Have to Worry. Mary J. Blige. But David Ruffin and Temptations. Sean Roland Kirk, yeah, man. About hip hop at the time, like I didn't know like what was going on with the genre, with the music, and he put me on to this group that was still making that original boom bap hip hop with lyricism, and yeah, kind of got into it from there. That's when I started making beats. Like after I kind of got into knowing that real hip hop was still around. So yeah, man. I think I have that record. Maybe. I was looking at this joint yesterday. Headhunters. It's fire. Funky stuff like these guys, the Headhunters. They were originally in a group with Herbie Hancock. You know what I mean? So Herbie Hancock is a legendary jazz pianist who's played with Miles Davis and of course had his own career with a bunch of different labels, Blue Note, Columbia, all that stuff. So sometimes it's looking at the labels, looking at, oh, it's on Blue Note Records, is it on Columbia Records, is it on Atlantic Records. Sometimes those will inform you of what kind of music you're gonna get. So I know if it's Blue Note, it's gonna be jazz stuff. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, it could either be classic jazz or it could be something more modern, funky. I was listening to a dude, Donald Byrd, who's a famous jazz trumpeter. You know what I mean? He's got amazing funky stuff from the 70s, but it was on Blue Note. So, you know. So yeah, you just look for the different, look at the players, look at the cover, you just get a feel for it, you know what I mean? And just, or, you know, we're grateful for a place like this where you can actually listen to the records before you even buy them. So, you know what I mean? You may find your little loops there. I definitely could have come through this place and found a record that was a little pricey, but it had just the melody or the loop on it that just, I was like, oh, I have to have it. There's no way I'm not going to leave the store without this record because this has something that is gonna make a beat that I'm gonna enjoy. So yeah, man, sometimes it's just like that. It's just, you know what I mean? Just get a feel for it. Get a feel for it. Yeah, man, so Adam, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna bring my MPC here, see if I can make a quick beat. We got so many records around here.
Absolutely,
might as well.
Man, we love that.
Yeah, let's do it. So, you know.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going all right, how are you?
Good.
Let's get something going. All right. So yeah, we're gonna use this Headhunters, man. Classic record, man. A couple of classics have been used on this joint, but we'll make it happen. Okay, let's make sure we got some sound.
That's what you need. But it's all right, you know. Sometimes. I can dig that.
There you go. That's it. What else you need? The MPC has been like the one thing that's stayed consistent with me doing production. I've definitely tried using other things, using, you know, software, Ableton, Fruity Loops, Reason. I've tried before. I've tried bunch of different things, but you know, just having this tactile experience where you're using your hands and pressing buttons and, you know, being physical with it. Definitely, that's been my thing. And then using the 404. The SP404, I use that a lot for just the grittiness, the dirt, put the dirt into this, because, you know, these are just like boxes that you have to put things into. So, you know, they don't just make the things for you. You have to, it's all about what you put into the machine and then what you're able to program out of it. So, you know, using the MP, using the 404 for sound, that's been my main thing for sure. And of course, digging for records, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, we're surrounded by records. It all starts from that. That's the foundation, is the source. So, you know, yeah, man. My sample is kind of low. May need to do this one again. Just a little bit. Find some drums. I don't know where we at about that. So, you know, try to get in the ballpark of whatever the tempo is, you know what I mean? And then I'll just hit shift play start to get a metronome, and then I'll just put these chops right here. So from there, you know, just trying to find some drums, pick them out. Let's go here. And we're gonna find something to use as a sample. So let's see what we got going on. Let's chop that up. Okay. All right. Let's get out the samples.
Learning about keep there.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Sure, bro. Alright, so that's like the basic foundation of a beat, you know? And then you can just take it from wherever you want from there, you know? I can maybe find a bass line, find a bass groove or something like that. Let's see what we got. I don't really do the 16 note bass lines like I used to, but it works sometimes. Let's put this on, note on. Might have to tune that up a little bit. Maybe I should get in key. Maybe I should find the key first. A lot of that has to do with like processing, you know what I mean? So like putting like a certain, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, so I would say at this point, I definitely feel like I have my own sound. I use a lot of the same sounds. If you've listened to any of my music, I'll use some of the same percussion elements and things like that. But yeah, man, I like to keep my beats really melodic. I like a lot of melodic stuff, so I'm always looking for melody, loops, chord progressions. And you know, something smooth. I like the contrast between having, you know, music that sounds smooth, like the melodies, and you know, it could be Rhodes or piano or something real delicate and like, you know, just intricate sounding, and then using the drums that are like hard and dirty. So I kind of like that contrast between, you know, the hard, dirty drums with the, you know, pretty melodies. So, you know, yeah, that's mainly my thing. So that's mainly what I do. I like to try different things too, so it's not always just doing boom bap hip hop. Sometimes it's doing like house music, doing, you know, just straight dance grooves or anything, something experimental, something completely off kilter. So, you know, it could be either way. But yeah, my definitely my sound is that contrast between the drums, the hard drums, with the you know, the smooth melodies and stuff like that. That's my thing. Man, that's the foundation, man. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Of course, you got, you know, I got to clean it up and everything, but you know, that happens, and you know, that's the boring stuff that you don't hear until the beat's done and out, you know. So, okay, now I had that other part of the sample too that I can use that has more. It has that little bass line already in it. So sometimes, if you're a young beat maker and you're not really attuned or used to making like bass lines or anything like that, sometimes it's already built into the sample, and then you just have to, you know, finesse it a certain way. So, all right, I'm gonna have to clean those up here. Take a piece of the record with your hand on the button, sample that part, go back, sample the next piece, put it on the pad, next piece, put it on the pad. So, you know, this technology is great where you can actually just chop everything up. You never really have to like go back to the record. You can just kind of find your piece, chop it up the way you want to, and then go back to the record, find another little piece, or find a certain instrument that you may want to add into the beat, or just start working on your drums and your percussion. So, you know, yeah, man. Well, yeah, man, I mean, as far as hip hop is concerned, you know, like I said, Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, DJ Premier, all of those guys, East Coast hip hop, even, you know, a lot of the West Coast guys, Dre, Madlib, Alchemist, like all of those guys are definitely inspiring to me. And but also, you know, producers from way back in the day, the Rudy Van Gelders, you know, from, you know, the jazz era, the Quincy Jones, you know, who else? Herb Alpert, man, there's so many. But yeah, mostly, you know, anyone that we may have to do this one. We might have to do another cut. But yeah, I'm mostly inspired by just, you know, the Jay Dillas, the Pete Rocks, the DJ Premiers, the classic hip hop, sample based hip hop producers for sure. And then of course like the ones, the forefathers of them, you know, the Quincy's, the Rudy Van Gelders, man, who knows, man. There's so many. But yeah, for sure. And man, so that's about it, man. That's like the foundation of the track. Got the sample, you know what I mean, from the Headhunters, great group, you know what I mean. Took that little piece. We get to so that's the sample. Just looping, just a 4-bar loop with the drums. Some steady hard drums. We're at 88 BPM. It's just hip hop, you know what I mean? Get an MC on this, you're good to go. Yes, sir. For me personally, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so I grew up in that sound, like the Pete Rocks, the Jay Dillas, the drum breaks, you know, that's just always been my thing. So that, you know, anything that makes your head nod, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? So that's what boom bap is to me. Anything that gets your head nodding, you know, gets you in the zone, to just feel, you know, just to feel what it's doing, that's what it's all about. That's what boom bap is to me. It doesn't necessarily have to be kick, snare, hi-hat, boom, bap, boom, boom. It don't have to be that. It could just be whatever gets your head nodding. So that's what boom bap is to me. Yeah, man. So definitely have been doing this for a while. I've been on some amazing projects with some other artists. I've done stuff with Blue. I've done stuff with my man Cassius King out on the West Coast. I've done some remix stuff for them. I started out doing stuff with this group DXA out in New York. The crew Kick Drum Products, you know what I mean? Started doing stuff with them. Yeah, man, I got tons of projects out there. You can go on Discogs, you can go on Google, whatever. A lot of stuff is out there, but yeah, I mainly just want to plug you know, my newest project. It's called Graciamentals Volume 2. It's on Bandcamp. It's 16 tracks, and it's just beat loops, hard beats, stuff that's moody, stuff that gonna make you think, stuff that'll make you nod your head, anything. I even got stuff that's gonna make you dance on there. So, you know, yeah, man, just been doing that. It's on Bandcamp, shanegreat.bandcamp.com. You can check me out on Discogs. I got a bunch of releases on Discogs from that I've done with other crews. I've done stuff with this crew out of Chicago, Culture Power 45. I got stuff with them. My homie Fat Nice, shout out to Fat Nice. Did a really dope remix with him a bunch of years back. Yeah, man, stuff with Kick Drum. I got a bunch of stuff with Kick Drum products that's out there on Discogs. You can just look it up. It's out there. There's a couple stuff on. There's stuff on vinyl, stuff on tape. So yeah, man, and yeah, we're just gonna keep it going. I got another project probably dropping in the springtime, summertime. We'll see. And yeah, we're just gonna keep it moving, man. Just keep checking it out. Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks for checking out another episode of Coffee Breaks. We got the coffee here. We got the breaks. We got the machinery. We got the records. We're here at Milkcrate Cafe. Thanks for checking us out, y'all. Peace.